Hello Aquarius, welcome to Soul Good. Thank you so much for being here. It's a blessing and pleasure to be joining you today. Please do trust that whenever you have found yourself here, there are likely to be messages within the contents of this video for you. I would of course encourage you to use your discernment, take what resonates, leave what does not. Do not make it your story if it isn't. As I started tapping into your energy, the first little phrase that came in is "let your freak flag fly." I feel like I've probably said this to you before. It's interesting how that's happening. That's a reoccurring theme on this channel for this series. It seems like there are a lot of repetitive messages coming through videos that I did, oh gosh, a while ago, that seem to be coming through in a much more in your face, if you will, kind of way. The whole point of that message coming in is that you are not meant to blend in. You're meant to stand out in a league of your own. And it's why you may have felt so strange, or why you may have run into so much struggle every time you try to fit in to get in. It's like trying to swim upstream. This is pretty much straightforward, to the point, getting down to it, which maybe you're going to appreciate. But with that came a song, and I feel like the song is really driving home the point in a way that is crystal clear. So the song is Uptown Funk by Mark Ronson. It will be linked in the notes below underneath soundtrack. And the parts of the song that came through are from two different portions of the song. One being, "I'm too hot, say my name, you know who I am." If you've heard the song, you know exactly what that sounds like. Actually, I'm getting you're probably hearing that right now. And the whole thing is that you're not meant to be kind of tucked away, hiding who you authentically are, but rather sharing your unique personality, perspectives, and ideas. Okay, this is your time to shine, 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 Aquarius. So that's why it's coming through as "I'm too hot, say my name, you know who I am." Because it is, I am in a league all on my own. What I bring to the table is unlike anything else you are going to experience. So let's not sit here and pretend like I'm just a part of the crowd. Let's not sit here and pretend that I blend in like everyone else. And as a matter of fact, I'm also hearing right now that you may have experienced people trying to kind of push you into the background, to try to treat you as though you're average, but truly knowing in their heart of hearts that you are anything but average. You are anything but mediocre, that you just don't blend into the background. Actually, you guys, it's wild how this is coming through, because I'm actually getting a lot of energy connected to like high school drama. So you could have experienced a lot of that, or perhaps you're experiencing it now. But there's this feeling of, I don't know how to explain this, you guys. It is one of those things where it's almost like keep your friends close, but keep your enemies closer, in a way where these individuals may have this very deep understanding, whether it be in their subconscious or if they're fully aware of it, whatever it is. They have this understanding that if you are allowed to be at the forefront, if you are allowed to take center stage, if you are put at the lead, you are going to outshine everyone. And there's a very big fear around that, because others seem to be too afraid to be themselves authentically. They seem to be too intimidated by your authenticity, by your uniqueness. They understand, again, that if you are given the right conditions, you are just going to be the star of the show. And hello, Aquarius, in the tarot, you are represented by the star. So let's just call it what it is. And this brings me to the next point, which is the other part of the song. Don't believe me, just watch. Trusting your instincts and not letting these naysayers or haters convince you otherwise is going to be one of your greatest assets. Okay, don't be afraid to stand alone on your path, Aquarius. Your faith and your trust in God, the plans over your life, will support your success, whatever that looks like. This is an incredible segue into the next part of the song that came through for you. Don't believe me, just watch. Trusting your instincts and not letting the naysayers or haters convince you of anything else is going to be an incredible asset for you. Don't be afraid to stand alone on your path, because your faith and trust in God and the plans over your life will support your success, whatever that looks like for you. It's about getting there in the way that is best for you, the way that best suits you. Being the authority over your life, not allowing yourself to be bullied into anything that isn't you. Part ways with people if that's what you have to do, but don't let anyone else run your life. You have to live with you for the rest of your life. No other person on this planet has to do that but you. And so there's a very strong message for you to make sure that you are standing in your authenticity, you are standing in truth, you are standing in your integrity. Anything else is likely to backfire. Maybe not tomorrow, maybe not in 6 months or whatever it is, but eventually it will come back to bite you. And so as you move forward, Aquarius, this is about you embracing you and showing up as you no matter what. If you happen to lose people along the way, know that God will replace them. I'm not saying that makes it easy. I'm not saying that that doesn't mean that it's not painful. But know that your people, the people who will get you, who will appreciate you, who will celebrate you, who will lift you up, those people will find you. They will be drawn to you. Remember what I said earlier. You are represented in the tarot as the star. And so you can be up there shining all by your lonesome and people will marvel at you. People will be led by you and led to you. All you have to do is be you. I don't know who you are, how you have found yourself here, what led you here, or what you believe to be true about the value of your life. But I do know that whatever God has planned for you, whatever purpose God has over your life, whatever potential He sees in you, it must be something grand. I have been met with more resistance trying to get these messages to you than I have for any other messages in all of the time that I've been doing this. And that tells me that forces that oppose God would rather you never know what I've shared either before or following these words. So whatever you may believe about your life, please know you matter. You matter a great deal. Let's dive in and take a look at what else would like to come through for you. Father, Mother, Life, Christ, Universe, Spirits, Guides, Angels, our cosmic team, our ancestors, our higher selves, what other messages would like to come through for Aquarius, please? Thank you. Okay, thank you. We start off here with Priestess. How are you being called to step up and lead? This is a call to action. This is asking you to step to the forefront of your life, to take center stage, as we talked about at length in the beginning. It is asking you to be receptive to what is possible. You may feel like you are a background character or a sidekick or a supporting role or something of that nature, and perhaps you've been in experiences throughout your life where you have been those things. But moving forward, that is not the role that you are meant to be playing. You are meant to be taking center stage. You are meant to be the main character in your own life. And I feel as though God has plans over your life that you probably have not even considered. Okay? You may not feel ready. You may feel very unsteady. You may feel very uncomfortable. But now is the time. And you certainly aren't doing this on your own. You have support in the more subtle realms, let's say, in the spirit. You have support. You may have felt called to or pulled to develop a very personal relationship with Christ. You may have experienced Christ yourself. You may know people who have or have experienced others experiencing Christ. I know that sounds kind of strange, but you could have been around someone who had a Christ experience and witnessed it. There is a lot of this energy of like protection on all sides, of being supported. But you could have certainly been someone who's kind of been sitting in God's back pocket, if you will, waiting for the appropriate time to bring you forward, to put you in a position where you can lead others. And this is especially true if you're someone who has been actively facing your shadow, actively doing shadow work, working on your healing process and alchemizing any trauma or wounding or pain that you may have experienced. There is a level of the student becoming the teacher in a way. And that's not requiring you to be anything that you are not already, just to be clear. But it does feel as though it's one of those finding your way out so you can go back in to help others, whatever that may look like for you. You may have learned something that can be valuable for someone else in some way, shape, or form. It doesn't have to be some textbook thing or some university taught type of thing. It can absolutely just be experiences that you've had throughout your life, which someone else can relate to. I just heard the words big brother, big sister. So you could be someone who is a volunteer for that program. And that could be something incredibly impactful, maybe far beyond even what you realize at this point. And you could be new to this, or you could be someone who has been doing this for some time. That is a unique message, by the way. I've never had something like that come through. Not about a program like that. So that may be very, very specific for someone. You also have, come on now, Pleiades, double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. It is well within your wheelhouse as an Aquarius, being altruistic and more humanitarian, to be called to such a task. So it's not a surprise to see this coming through. This seems to be more confirmation, really driving home that whatever God has in store for you is something that can create ripples. It can have impacts over generations, simply through the sharing of your story or through being kind, being loving toward someone else. Looking at this card, you can see that there are more prominent figures toward the front. There are 3 of them, and then there are these less prominent figures in the background. This is confirming for me that you may have been someone who was more in the background and are now kind of being brought to the forefront because there's something important for you to be doing. There's something that you have within you that you can share with the world that can have perhaps incredible impacts far beyond what you even realize at this point. But here we are with how are you being called to step up and lead, and then channeling and uplifting humanity, double mission. It really is driving home that there is something incredibly significant that God wants to do in your life, or that God has for you to do with this life. And it reaches beyond you. It is likely something that can have impacts and ripples throughout humanity if you choose to step into that space, if you allow yourself to align with that. Yeah, don't dim to fit in. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? This is God saying, I said what I said. Even again with those background figures and then the ones that are more prominent, talking about being the leader in your own life, the main character in your own life, stepping into your purpose, stepping into your power, stepping into who you are supposed to be in this lifetime, and not shrinking back from that, not hiding from that, not turning from that, not allowing yourself to fade into the background. You are not meant to be in that space, Aquarius. This is truly God confirming what I've been picking up on every single time I've tried to deliver this message. I've been getting the same message over and over and over and over again, which is God has something planned for your life, and whatever it is, it's going to be impactful. I don't know how, I don't know why, but it is something meaningful. Your life is meaningful. And you are being asked to take that on. You are being asked to step into that space. What else, please? What other messages for Aquarius? Okay, thank you. Right. Okay, so we start off here with the 4 of Swords. This has been to give you the opportunity to repair your heart, to come back home to yourself, to allow yourself to bloom and grow. I'm drawn to the fact that she has these floral looking tattoos and this floral pattern on her pants. It's giving me, this has been time for you to be able to bloom, to really kind of come into your own, to heal, to come back to your own heart, to replenish yourself in a way, right? To fill yourself up. Queen of Wands in the reverse. Had you not been given this time, whatever this has looked like for you, I do feel as though you are probably not someone who has been completely isolated. You may have people that you have spent time with, environments you've been in that have been social or what have you, but it doesn't feel consistent. It doesn't feel like an everyday type of thing. It feels as though a majority of your time has likely been a little bit more isolated, and you had to be pulled away from that so you could build confidence within yourself, so you could see where some of these things that you've experienced have pulled on that, have, let's say, diminished that in some capacity. And this has been an opportunity for you to rediscover your own light. Somewhere along the way, you may have lost that zest, likely because people were trying to cage you, people were trying to get you to dim your own light, and you may have done that. But this has been a time for you to kind of stoke that fire. Nine of Cups in the reverse. Prior to this resting phase, prior to this pause, life may have felt very bland. You may have asked yourself who you are, or what happened, how did you get here, something along those lines. Because these two cards together, Queen of Wands, Nine of Cups, in the upright, they are very, what would you say, enthusiastic, very energetic even, very fulfilled. Thank you, Holy Spirit. And it's showing up as lacking that fire, lacking joy, lacking passion, lacking depth. Life may have felt very surface level. And this resting phase may have been to try to reconnect you with these things, to try to bring you back, because it feels like you've got lost in the background. Or how do I say this? It feels as though you've been kind of watching life just go by in a blur. And this seems to be a time where you've been given this opportunity to try to find your way again, to figure out what is it that is going to fulfill me, what is going to bring me joy, what is going to bring me satisfaction on a deep level, not something surface, not something I just think is going to make me happy, but something that actually does. Wow, Nine of Pentacles, yes. There's this deficit of fulfillment. There's a lack of fulfillment. You may be seeing nines. Nines are attainment, fulfillment, and here they're both in the reverse. It may have felt as though life has had very little meaning. And that could be because you haven't been aligned with your soul. You haven't been in touch with who you truly are, but rather have been the supporting role in everyone else's life, right? Page of Swords, yes. There is something within you that wants to be shared. You may not feel confident about whatever it is you have to share. You may feel as though there's more that you need, or you're not experienced enough, or you don't know enough, you haven't mastered it enough, or something along those lines. But there is something within you that wants to be shared, and you don't need to hit a certain marker. You don't have to have some certificate or something in order to share it with the world. And that brings me back to this. It's like Queen of Wands, Nine of Cups, Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. It's like, I'm just going to sit back. I'm just going to wait back here because I don't have anything to offer. That's what this feels like. That's what these three cards right here feel like together. Right? With the Four of Swords at the front, followed by these three, it's saying, I'm just going to hang back because I don't feel like I have anything to offer. But you do. You really, truly do. Even if you don't feel ready, even if you don't feel as though you know enough, you've learned enough, or you're not wise enough, or you're whatever the story is, there is something in you that wants to be shared. How wild is it, Aquarius, that you have don't dim to fit in, and just here to the side of it is this Page of Swords with all of these light bulbs. That's not a mistake. Time to flip the switch. The only thing stopping you is your own mind. The only thing stopping you is your own fear. And believing that you aren't valuable. Believing that you're not enough in some way, shape, or form. Believing you don't measure up. Believing you have nothing to offer. That's the only thing stopping you is you. Tell us more, please. Thank you. Okay, thank you. So we have here attraction, relationships, partnership. I'm getting a message of you may want to consider your partnerships and relationships, those that you surround yourself with. There are some that would rather you not shine, of course, as I've talked about at length. And this may be a time for you to really be examining those around you, because the energies that you surround yourself with have an impact, whether you want to believe it or not, whether you acknowledge it or not. The people you surround yourself with have an impact on how you show up in the world. If you're surrounding yourself with people who are not supportive, if you are surrounding yourself with people who are afraid of your light shining brighter than theirs, or of you finding your power, that is going to have an impact on how you show up. Absolutely. First quarter moon, momentum, initiative, magnetism. It's like I've been saying, right? There are those that want you to be small, because if you step into your power, given the right conditions, you're going to shine. And it's likely that you are going to shine brighter than even some of those around you. It's almost as though they've been trying to keep you small so that they can feel brighter. I'm not saying that they're doing this consciously. I'm not saying that they are aware of this. They may be doing this without even realizing it. But that magnetism, it's saying, you know, once you get the ball rolling, who knows where it will take you. And based on what I'm feeling, there are forces around you who absolutely, positively do not want you growing, do not want you expanding, evolving. They do not want you shining your light. They want you to be small. They want you to be tucked away. They want you to be hidden. They want you to believe that you have nothing to offer. They want you to believe that you're not valuable. And it is so far from the truth based on what I'm seeing here. You have series self-care, wellness, agriculture. It is in your best interest to consider the company you're keeping and whether or not that energy is supportive, whether or not that energy is loving, whether or not that energy is for you. All right, final messages for Aquarius, please. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Start off with the vulture. And it's curious to me that it is actually beneath this relationships and partnerships card. The vulture symbolizes taking out the trash, essentially. The vulture symbolizes decay, stagnancy, and cleaning up. The vulture is essentially, like the garbage man, if you will, of the animal world. It flies around and eats all of this decaying matter, right? And so this is coming through saying it's time to clean up your partnerships. It's time to clean up your relationships. It's time to clean up the things that are no longer serving you, that are decaying, that are stagnant, that are not supportive, that are not conducive to your growth. Getting rid of the waste, getting rid of the trash. And I'm not saying that the relationships that you have are trash. That's not what I'm saying. But we do outgrow certain relationships. We do evolve out of them, if you will. And then they're just baggage at that point. It's not serving either ourselves or the other party to keep pouring energy into it. This could be painful. But as challenging as it may be, it's time to really look at these relationships and to decide whether or not it is something that you want to keep moving forward with. To decide whether or not it's serving you. The elephant. Seriously? In this position, it's telling me that these obstacles have been placed in front of you. And in some cases, that's been for a reason. In some cases, it's been to keep you in a certain space until a certain point. But there's also this very real acknowledgement here that there have been things that have been standing in the way of what you're truly capable of, your true potential. The elephant represents obstacles. And it's right here beneath this magnetism. So as I've been saying this whole time, it's like, here you are, a star, essentially. And here's this big old elephant standing in front of you, preventing anyone else from seeing your light. And the bat. Wow, in the out of balance position as well. So here's the thing. It is an act of self-care for you to let go of that which is no longer serving you, whatever that looks like. There are those of you out there that this is absolutely 100% certain relationships and partnerships that you have found yourself in. 100%. People you call friends, family, partners, lovers, whatever it is. It is in your best interest to let some of these things go. The bat is an energy of letting things go and the darkness. Being able to confront darkness. And that's just it. It's very challenging. I don't care who you are. It is challenging to confront darkness within ourselves. But once you start confronting it outside of yourself and you start seeing the darknesses in others because you've recognized it within you, it can truly be so painful. So I'm not telling you that this is going to be easy. I'm not telling you that this is going to be a walk in the park. The vulture is again, it's decay. It's not easy to let things go. We don't like losing things. We don't like to let things go. But the way that this is showing up is telling me that it is in your best interests to look at your experience, to look at your life, both internally and externally, and to let go of anything that is preventing you from stepping into who you truly are, from stepping into your power, from taking back the authority over your life. Anything preventing you from reaching your true potential, anything trying to smother out the light within you. We talked about fire. Look at that little flame there. And here it's being blocked. Queen of Wands, there are tons of little candles. It's being blocked. The light has been blocked. And here with the Page of Swords, it's like, ignite that again. Flick the switch. Stop shutting your light off for the comfort of others. Or stop bowing down to fear and hiding yourself away. There is something God wants to do in your life. There is something that you have to share with the world. Something unique and magnificent, and it belongs to you. I once was listening to a podcast, Know Thyself, I believe is what the podcast is called. And there was a gentleman there speaking, Dr. I believe Robert Gilbert is his name. And what he said was, what we have to share with the world is as unique as a snowflake. But if we do not nurture that, if we choose to turn our back on what we have to offer the world doesn't get it. Each of us a unique snowflake. Once if you just don't do it, it just doesn't happen. Consider that for a moment. I mean, if you think about all of the things that have impacted humanity throughout history, especially for the better, and if you consider what may have happened if each of those individuals had decided to just, nah, that's okay, I'm just not gonna, what that might have looked like for us, how that could have impacted us and our evolution, our souls. I mean, imagine if Christ was like, nah, it's fine. I just don't want to do it. I mean, thank God. So I would like to take this opportunity to encourage you to pursue whatever path God is calling you to. I would like to encourage you to share your gifts with the world, to allow yourself to be seen. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but whatever it is you have, the only way the rest of us get to experience it is if you bring it forward. And I pray that you do. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for your grace. I truly appreciate it. It has taken several days to get this out to you. And so I pray that what you have heard here has blessed you in some way, shape, or form, that it has provided some kind of value or some kind of clarity, some kind of confirmation for you, especially as you move forward with your journey. It's been an absolute pleasure to be here. I'm sending so much love and the biggest of hugs your way. Take care of your growing, evolving, beautiful, unique, magnificent, valuable, needed soul. Peace be with you and within you, and I hope to see you in another chat. Bye.